Yes, class. Good evening. So in the last class, we had started with the revision, but only 1 hour class I think I took. So very few questions we did. Now see, I'll be focusing on objective questions also because we didn't practice any objective numerical. So let's start with the revision of ray optics only. Let's continue with the revision of optics. So I'll be sharing questions on the screen. You all will try by yourself, send me the answers, and after few minutes I'll discuss it, but at least try yourself, then only you'll be able to understand the answer. Now for objective questions, do one thing, directly write me just the part ABC, no need to write what is mentioned. And one more thing also, class, in your, I am again repeating, in your MCQs for your mock exams which are happening, you people have the tendency to write the answer which is given without mentioning which part of MCQ is correct. So first mention which part is correct. For example, if you think B part is the right answer, so mention B letter first, then write whatever it is written in the option of B. All right, so same way here also. Here you can just mention the parts. So let me share some questions with you. See, class, just tell me the option. This question we have already done in the class. Yes, right. So Samaira and Donna have answered. It would be option D. We have done this question already in the class. See here, how to solve this. You have angle of incidence 3/4 time the angle of prism. Right, so angle of prism for equilateral prism will be 60 degree. This becomes 3/4 of 60 degree. That is 45. So I is 45 degree and I is equal to angle of emergence. So E will also be 45 degrees. Now you will, in the position of minimum deviation, you know that R is equal to A by 2. So R will be equal to A by 2. So A by 2, which is 60 degree by 2, this is equal to 30 degrees. So see, you have all the values. You have I as 45 degree, you have E as 45 degree, you have R as 30 degree, all the values are given to you. Now, refractive index will be ratio of sine I by sine R. Which law is this? Sine I by sine R is equal to refractive index. We have a specific name for this law?
Snell's law.
Snell's law. Yes, good, Samaira. Snell's law. Yes, Vakya. Snell's law. So mu is equal to sine I by sine R. So that becomes sine 45 degrees by sine 30 degree. So now sine 45 by sine 30, this is equal to 1 by root 2 into multiplied by 2 by 1, which can directly be written as root 2. That is 1.414. Right. This is directly 1.414. And what else was asked in this question? Calculate angle of deviation. So you know A, you already have A, angle of the prism. You have I, right? You have A, you have mu, and from here you can easily calculate delta. So one thing you can do is properly write down refractive index. You have it now. So angle of deviation can be calculated using the formula mu is equal to sine A plus del m by 2 divided by sine A by 2. Directly use this formula. You have this as root 2 sine A is given as 60 degree, del is unknown divided by 2. This is sine 30 degrees. You already have this. So you can directly write down cross multiply sine 30 degrees into root 2 is equal to sine 60 plus del by 2. Fine. Directly you can write like this. Or one more thing is a way to solve this. You can divide both the terms by root 2. Or without even dividing the terms, simply put the values. This is root 2 divided by 2. Here you have sine over here 60 plus del by 2, like this. So from here we only know del is the only variable in this question. Fine. So you will be starting with whatever data is given. And one more thing, class, one more thing. In this part only, in one of the papers, it came after finding out the value of delta, that is angle of deviation. Angle of deviation comes out to be 30 degrees. Now see, in this one more part was there that if in 2008 it came that you had to calculate the speed of the prism as well. So how will you calculate the speed of the prism? These values you have now, how will you calculate the speed of the prism? So speed of the prism is directly given by, see, you will use velocity and relation between refractive index. So refractive index is the speed of light by the velocity of light. So you will here use this and put it. Like you can put this 3 into 10 to the power 8. Velocity is unknown. This is 1.41. So from here you can get the value of velocity as well properly in terms of meter per second. And class, whenever you will be having 1 by root 2 in the denominator, no, like here also velocity will be 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by root 2. So just remember the value 1 by root 2. This is always equal to 0.707. So directly you can multiply these two and you get the value. Whenever this is given 1 by root 2, use that. All right, note it down then. Note down the solution. One question I'll give you on dispersive power now. Dispersion, dispersive power we did. So let's practice some questions from that topic. For calculation of angle of deviation. See, for angle of deviation, you can do one more thing. If you want to avoid this entire thing, because this will make your calculations more difficult. So what can you do? You know, angle of incidence is directly A plus delta divided by 2. So you can use this also. Here, you know, this is 45 degree, right? This is 60 plus del divided by 2. So from here, this becomes in one line you will get, yes, that's what I'm saying. So 90 is equal to 60 plus delta, so delta is equal to 30 degrees. You can use this directly. Otherwise, if you use that one, so in this specifically this question, it is difficult to use the longer formula for angle of minimum deviation, because solving refractive index, otherwise you'll have to remember all the values of sine. So you can use this will be a better method. Is it clear now? Here you have to calculate the dispersive power. Find dispersive power you have to calculate. So values are given for blue and red, calculate the dispersive power. Yes, class, last 1 minute for this question because the calculation part is very easy in this question. Yes, Fahad. Fahad is right. Good. See, here what do we use? Refract the angle of deviation. The values is given for red as how much? 1.644. Right. This is given not the value of angle of deviation, the value of refractive index. No. So value of refractive index for red is given as 1.644. And for blue, it's given 1.664, right? So see, in this, no, refractive index is refractive index of blue plus refractive index of red by 2. This gives you the refractive index. So that will the average, or for yellow you can say this is actually for yellow color. So 1.644 plus 1.664 divided by 2. So how much will it be? That becomes 8. You have 10, 117. Then you have 2, 1, 3. So 3.128 you divided by 2. So that will be 1.8. So that will be 6. 5 and into 4 is 8. Last made tha na, so 2 into. Just check whether it's 1.654. Someone cross check it. So if we have this value, refract the value of the dispersive power, that will be refractive index of blue minus refractive index of red, total refractive index of yellow minus 1. Use this formula. So blue is how much? 1.6644. No, 664. This is 664 minus 1.644 divided by 1.654 minus 1. So this will be, the answer will be 0.0305. So option B part. If it's an MCQ, it will be always for 1 mark. But if this question comes without the options, this can come for 2 marks as well. So 1 or 2 marks. But if it's MCQ, then definitely 1 mark. So only Fahad has answered till now. Last 2 minutes, then I'll discuss it. Others also tried. See, this is one just single formula. Just try to recall which formula will be used here. In one straight line, you'll get your answer. It's a very short question. See here, I'm discussing it now. See, this is just one single formula usage class. Angle of the prism is given 2 degrees. Right, angle of the prism is given 2 degrees. Rehan is also correct. See, Rehan, that's what I'm saying. Right now you have written this fine. But in the exam, in your final exam also, board exam, in every paper, do write the part number as well. The alphabet of the part. If your answer is 1.5, so your answer should be B option first. Write B, then anything else. Because it may happen you'll lose marks if you do not write the part. All right, this is for all of you, not specifically for Rehan. But answer is right, Rehan. So A is 2 degree and deviation is 1 degrees. And we have to find out the refractive index of the prism. That has to be calculated. See, whenever small angle is there, small angle is there. So there was a specific formula for deviation of angle. We don't use the entire big formula. We use one single liner formula which says the angle of deviation. No, it's not correct. Fahad, it's not okay if you write it, because when the examiner is checking your papers, no, so lots and lots of papers are there along with the examiner for checking. So usually they match the options and they assign you marks. Yes. No. Even, okay. Even if you just write the option, that would do, but it's better, no, if you like B option and write what it's written. So be on the safer side, because as I was saying, examiner has lots and lots of question papers and your answer sheets with you. So in a hurry, examiner will always just mark and see which option number first, like B part to B part. They'll match like this first. So if it's just 1.5, they won't recall whether 1.5 was written in which option. Usually it can happen. So just to be on the safer side, I will suggest to all of you, write the part like B and mention 1.5. So what, if your answer is correct, thoroughly checking also, you will get good score. So mu minus 1 into A. Because sometimes in the marking scheme, options are not mentioned. Like in the marking scheme, you just have question 1, question 2, question 3, A, B, B, like this written. So in your paper, whatever is written, examiner won't take such an effort to check whether your part number was A. So A was written. If you have, let's say, written 1.5 only instead of writing A part. So examiner won't make an effort to check whether A part only was 1.5 or not. So if this doesn't match your paper, you will lose mark for this correct answer also. That's what I'm saying. So to be on the safer side, because here luck also matters, which type of examiner is checking your paper and all. So to be on the safer side, write the part number and mention the option like B part 1.5, like this. Properly mention it. And have a practice of writing by attempting all these in the mock tests also, which you give here. So develop a habit. At the end, you'll be having complete mock tests as well, no? So yes, deviation is 2. Here we have to write. All right. So from here, this becomes 1 is equal to mu minus 1 into 2. So mu minus 1, this becomes delta by A, that is 1 by 2. Mu will be 1 plus 1 by 2, that is 3 by 2, which is 1.5. So option B. So only Samira attempted this question. Let's discuss it now. C class. You know Snell's law right now only. You mentioned me that this law is known as Snell's law. So according to Snell's law, refractive index is sine I by sine R, which can be further written as C by V, right? So from here, V velocity can be written as, you can interchange, velocity can be written as sine R by sine I into C. They are equal, no? These are equal with each other. So V will be C into sine R divided by sine I. So look here, what is mentioned to you? Angle of incidences are mentioned. Write an angle. So for a given angle of incidence, what are the angle of refraction? These three are the angle of refraction mentioned to you. 15, 25, 35. So velocity is directly proportional to sine R. So VA, this is directly proportional to sine 15 degrees. VB, this is directly proportional to sine 25 degrees. VC is directly proportional to sine, how much? This is directly proportional to sine 35 degrees. But one thing which I want to tell you, Samira, pay attention, you also pay attention here. Minimum value is 15, medium is same thing Fahad, Samira, Fahad and others also. It seems like this. But if you see the values, sine 35 has the maximum, right? As you were mentioning. So sine 35 is lesser than sine 25 degrees. Then the least one is sine 15 degrees, which you both were mentioning, Fahad and Samira. So answer will directly, you can write it, and when there you have to show the steps. I wanted to mention this fact that if this is an MCQ question, so you will directly put the medium. But if it's a long marker, 1 marker, 2 marker, where you have to show the steps marking. So do show the step that values of sine are this. Therefore, you have the values of velocity in this order. Now you can conclude that medium A has minimum velocity. So this is not from your calculations, but from your theory part. Fine, noted down. So in your exam, have a habit of getting the techniques of writing exam. Use lens maker formula for this question. See class, how we'll solve this question. So any answers till now or not? I haven't received a single answer. Focal length of an equiconvex lens is equal to the radius of curvature of either face. Means both the radii of curvature are equal. If it's a biconvex lens, equiconvex lens, R1 is, let's say, plus R. So R2 that will be minus R, but magnitude will remain the same because both are equal. And here focus, we are writing it equal to the radius of curvature. Why? Because this condition is mentioned. See class, you have to identify focal length is equal to radius of curvature. This is mentioned in the question. But how will I write R1 and R2 both equal? Because it is given in the question an equiconvex lens. Equiconvex lens means only this. So these three things are given in the question. This you have to identify by yourself. Now put in the formula. 1 by f is equal to mu minus 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So from here, 1 by r will be equal to, I'm putting value of f as r. So 1 by r will be equal to mu minus 1. You have 1 by r plus 1 by r. How did I write 1 by r plus 1 by r? See here. This is 1 by r minus, second one is minus r. So if you write this term together, this will become 1 by r plus 1 by r. So 1 by r is equal to mu minus 1, 2 by r. So from here you have r getting cancelled. R will directly get cancelled. So you will have mu minus 1 as 2. Mu is, this is, no, 1 by 2. Mu minus 1 is 1 by 2. So mu will be equal to 1 plus 1 by 2. That is 3 by 2. Again, this is 1.5, the refractive index. So option D. Option D will be right. Beginning part. See, Fahad, see here. It is mentioned in the question that the lens is equiconvex lens. When the term is given, no, equiconvex. Equiconvex. This is made up of equal convex. That is, the radius of curvature on this side of the lens will be equal to radius of curvature on the opposite side. So one we'll take it as R, other also we'll take it as R. Since you now apply the sign convention, so one will be positive, one will be negative. One on behind the optical center will be negative, in front of it will be positive. That's how we have got this. And this is mentioned specifically in the question that focus and radius of curvature are equal. Okay, it's Maghrib time. Yes, 5 minutes break you need. No, okay, okay, fine. 5 minutes break, then we'll continue after 5 minutes. Then you can try the question. So it's 7:55 here. So after 5 minutes, it will be it. So after 8 o'clock, we'll resume back. All of you others who don't have to pray, you can freshen up yourself. Okay, let's start with it. Question is there written. So a converging and a diverging lens of equal focal lengths are placed coaxially in contact. You have to find the focal length of the combination. Focal length of the combination will be equal to the power of the combination, 0, infinity, or equal to the radius of curvature. So think very slight calculation is involved. 2 times this question has repeated, once in 2004 and then repeated itself in 2016. So try it till the time others are joining back. T class, how will you solve this question? You have combination of lengths. One is converging, one is diverging. So F will be the focal length for the converging lens. F will be the focal length for the converging lens. While you have minus F for the diverging lens. Now look here. When you take the combination of power, no, P1 plus P2, you write the reciprocal addition of the focal lengths. So this becomes 1 by F minus 1 by F. So power is equal to 0. And focal length and power are inversely proportional to each other. Focus is 1 by power, 1 by 0. This is infinity. So option C was right, infinity. So this can also come directly to you as a proper question. And one more basic question is there where you have to distinguish between convex lens and concave lens. So mention points like convex lens shape, it is thicker at the center than at the edges, and for concave, you know, it is thinner at the center than at the edges. Then one thing about real and virtual, that convex has real focus and concave lenses have virtual focus. And one more thing you can mention is that convex lens converge a parallel beam of light. Converging work it does, no, through whenever a ray of light is passed through it. For concave, you will mention it diverges a parallel beam of light. So these also can be asked. Okay, note it down. Fahad and Wafia. If you have not written the question, just text me. I'll scroll up back. This is the solution for the question which we had written. Fahad, instrument you have mentioned it correctly, but tell me the magnitude also, no, of the magnification. See, let me discuss it, then you people can leave. An optical instrument is there, objective lens is there, tube lens is there. So obviously, this is very easy to identify. It's the optical instrument is compound microscope. Power is given, object lens is given. Fine. Now, see, for compound microscope, two options are there: 25.31 and 31.25. These two options are there. So how do you calculate it? For compound microscope, see, power is given. So focal length of eyepiece will be 1 by power of eyepiece. This will be 1 by power of eyepiece. So that will become 100 by 12.5 centimeters. So which will be 8. Focal length of objective lens will be 1 by power of objective lens. That will be 100 by 50 centimeters, which will become 2 centimeters. So magnification is length of tube by f naught into d by f e. When is this formula? When final image is formed at infinity. Then, so magnification, this is equal to 20 by 2 into 25 by 8 is equal to 31.25. So C option will be correct. Note it down quickly. As you'll keep on writing it down, you can leave the class. Tomorrow we'll do practice questions from wave optics. That is also left, so that from next weekend we can at least start with first book revision. Okay, if completed, you can leave now. Thank you so much, class.